we just want Emily to be Emily. Like,
yeah.
The songs are the songs. Emily is Emily.
Right.
And if it were, there was a time early on, like 2020-ish, 2019, whatever. Like I remembered I was like watching videos. I was just, I think a video of like a cover band, a Linkin Park cover band showed up in my feed. Fans were loving it. They were all like, "Oh my God, this person's so good! Like they sound so much like Chester." And I was watching it. And have you ever heard of Uncanny Valley? You know what that means? Yeah, you're shaking your head.
Yes.
So Uncanny Valley, it's usually applied to like CGI. Like think of like Carrie Fisher in Star Wars.
Okay.
She passed away. They did
Right.
a CGI version of her. You look at it on the screen and you're like, man, that looks almost exactly
Right.
like a real life Carrie Fisher on the screen. But your brain knows the friggin' difference.
Right.
Your brain doesn't, and then, so that's the Uncanny Valley. It's like your brain likes it better and better the more it gets more real and close to the real thing. And then the moment before it becomes exactly as real, the moment before that, your brain goes completely the opposite direction. It goes right back down to, I hate it. Because your brain can tell that it's trying to be tricked. And nobody's brain likes that. It's like almost like a lizard brain, Neanderthal reaction. You can't control it. So when I was watching this YouTube video or Instagram video of this like cover band, I was like, that's really cool. And it's also creepy that it sounds so much like Chester. I don't like it. Like it weirds me out.
Yeah, it has to be different. It has to be different enough.
It made me immediately know that wasn't the move for us. Like I don't like it. I like it for them. I just don't
exactly.
Like it for us. They do those. There are actually multiple bands, like a dozen, cover bands. They do a great job, but it's not. I wouldn't want to put that in our band. That'd be very strange.
No, and I like what you guys have done, and when that day happened, what was the initial just kind of vibe of like? Was that it at that point? Did you think that was it, or do you think you'd be here today talking about something like this?
Well, I mean, like let's get a little broader, I think, because it's like in the course of a few years, right? I did a lot of things. Like I did the post-traumatic record afterwards because I needed to do it. It was like it's almost like a diary or something, and then went on tour with that and probably overdid it there, and just meaning that it was really emotionally exhausting. So then when I came back from that, it was like, okay, I'm starting with a real like blank slate, and I like talked to the other guys in the band a few times, and we were all very like tight and communicative and like all those things. But we would try and get together and work on things that it wouldn't really pick up any momentum. So after a while, I started doing stuff with other people and meeting other artists, and that's when I in 2019 I met Emily. I mean, I think we were talking about this. Like, I think I knew your name from before that, but 2019 is when we like connected and got in the studio and did like a couple sessions, and then there was the gap of like 2020 and all that. Long story short, yeah, like moving into like closer to 2022, 23, got back in touch with Dave and Joe about like, I could feel the momentum kind of starting. Like people's, like those two guys in particular, something had clicked, like something had changed in the way they wanted to do things, and then things just started moving.
I don't know what I did. Again, you don't want to come
apologize.
You don't want to come off too excited. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no, she definitely doesn't want to come off too excited. That is her thing, by the way. She's laughing.
Because it's true.
Because it's true.
Yeah. But that had to be super exciting. You're in the you're in the studio and you're playing with these guys. Because I know you were a fan. Everybody is. But I mean, as a musician, you're a fan going in. You're like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah. It's so. I mean, it's so hard to describe. It's like, because I know how like lucky I am, you know, and it's like being able. It's like they're big shoes to fill, obviously. So there's like so much that goes on in like that role of being like, okay, this is what you're gonna do, but at the same time, this is all I've been really doing, you know. So it fits so well. But then there's so much more to like, find into. I mean, it's still, what is the word?
Well, I think like what we've talked about is like the finding the balance between doing the song that that everybody knows, and then finding the way for you to do it that's you.
Right.
Yes.
That's that for the live show at least, that's a thing. And then also like in the songs that we were writing, like the earliest stuff when M first came in, we were just still exploring like sounds and like figuring out what types of songs. So some of them sounded very much like not Linkin Park. Some of the stuff that we were working on, and she would like, she'd sing on some things, and they'd be, the challenge is like, what's it supposed to sound like almost?
Yeah, like when you mentioned 2019 when we started writing, it was not necessarily for Linkin Park at all. Like you were working with so many people, and I was like, oh, I want to work with more people. That was a time for me where I was like, I want to start becoming a better songwriter, and then those songs don't really sound Linkin Park for some reason. But then when we got back in the studio, things started to really sound and take shape. And then I think that was the point where we're just kind of like, oh, this is cool.
There's something here.
Yeah.
That was going to be my question.
It's
Linkin Park thing.
Oh, there wasn't like one.
There wasn't?
No. It just really slowly got there. Just the same way that it slowly became the six of us. Like there were other people in the room, and then there were fewer people, and then then we were just calling Emily and calling back.
Yeah.
It just evolved slowly.
Did you have to have like a secret meeting where everybody put like a ballot into like a hat or something, like a vote?
There was a time. But there was a time.
Is there an initiation? Like what happens?
There was a time when I was like in my mind, I was like, this is working. Like there's no question that it sounds great. It's the best stuff we're making. It's the most fun we're having. Like I could tell. And then it's probably like a week later, I was in the room just with Joe and Dave, and I think it was Joe that was like, hey, is it me or like is this a thing? And Dave was like, dude, this is a thing.
Yeah.
Like these two are awesome, and we like that chemistry is special.
Yeah.
I was like,
and you got